We got a good one for you today. I know I've mentioned in the past that we had to do something with our pantry. This is actually quite embarrassing for me. I will tell you that now. Bringing the homestead back, right? That's what we've talked about in some of this. And for me to be able to do a little bit more of the cooking videos, the canning videos, this is definitely going to help me. This was a pantry that Mike had before I moved in. I tried to organize it 3 or 4 times. And then I had to move all my stuff in here, and it has just gotten out of hand, and I've still tried to pull everything out of here and organize it. It does not work. So here we go. It's horrible. Bear with me. But this is our pantry. It's not working. I got spices all over the place. We probably got old stuff. Once I go through this every couple months and it just ends up like this. We end up buying in bulk. Over here, I can't even get back to it. It doesn't work. No matter how many times I've tried to pull everything out of here, it's not working.
Looks like you had a good carpenter, but we got a bad organizer.
Well, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're working on today. So a couple things that I did do. I looked at getting one of I can, and we don't keep the canned goods in there. We've got a pantry downstairs, which isn't keeping up to my canning abilities, so I'll probably have to build another one of those down there, something a little bit bigger.
Please likes projects.
But it doesn't mean that, I just got done working where I worked. We get the good deals on the canned soups, the canned veggies once in a while, especially out of season, and we'll stock up on those. So I wanted one of those can roller racks that would help me organize. The prices of those that would hold barely any cans are so expensive. In that, for the same price that I bought that, I did get a spice rack. And it's a very nice spice rack. I am hoping it looks really nice. What I like about it, it's deep. So it looks like it'll hold 2 jars. We go through a lot of garlic, a lot of onion powder. So be able to get the 2 jars in there. It looks like it's going to be wide enough to be able to hold my teas. Some of my bigger spice things, I know we got some bulk ones. When I was reading the reviews, the only complaint that I saw on this was if you would have, I think I paid $30, $35, it was on sale, is if you're going into drywall, it was too heavy to hold that. But I will tell you this right now, this is pallet wood on top of plywood. I talked to Mike beforehand to make sure, so I don't think this is going to be an issue at all once I pick out where we're going to hang that in there. And that's going to take care of, even the big bulk spices and stuff, we'll be able to get those up. And I know you don't see a whole lot in there, but I have a whole drawer. When I go to cook something or do a video, and just to find what I need so that I can show you guys is crazy. So that'll be all organized, alphabetical, if you know me at all. Something else I did get too. These are food grade 5-gallon pails. I have one from quite a while ago that I moved in here that's got, the flour's still good in that. We're going to probably use that more for Cody and fish and stuff like that. I got another bag, but I buy my flour in bulk. I know it's somewhere in here. I had a big bag of 25 pounds of rice back there. We got a good deal on wild rice. Someday I'd like to get some bulk popcorn because we're not going to be buying the chips and stuff so much. We'll be having popcorn. So this is a good way. These snap right on, and then they twist and open up. That's going to keep any bugs out of there. And gosh forbid, this winter we get a couple mice in the house. It's going to keep all that. And they're stackable and stuff like that. So.
Mice.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of cleaning that. And then this is the thing that really saved me the money. So for about what it would cost me to get a couple can racks, I was able to get that. Mike had talked about building me a spice rack, but we got a lot of projects going on, and we still, even though we're unemployed, we're self-employed, and we got to work even harder now. But this I can't believe, and I really hope it works. We were digging around down in the basement. This is an old candy display rack. It had the little, plastic, I got them off there, but plastic display on the side. And they have these, I seen it down there. I was like, well, what the heck? This could work better than anything. You can adjust and lock these in there. They're kind of twisted right now. But they go in at a slant. And they got that lip on there. So I took the stuff off there. And the cans would roll down. You take one off and it'd roll down. So that's what I'm hoping to do back in here. Now to do that, we're going to have to take those couple shelves out. And we might have to do a little demolition. So stay with me for that because I think it's just 3 inches too deep. because there's kind of, you can't see it. You'll be able to see it once I get everything out of here, but there's a little slant on that bottom there. So we're going to have to adjust for that. And then this should fit in perfectly. And I really hope it works. I really hope to get this organized. First things first, I got to get everything out of here. And I know this is just, I mean, look at it. I can't function. I can't remember how many times I've bought something we already had because I couldn't find it. But first things first, I'm going to get everything out of here and get it cleaned up. And I'll check in with you and let you know where we're at after that. So I'm getting stuff out of here. I got Mike just taking some stuff off the wall. We're not exactly sure where this is going to line up for the seasoning rack and stuff like that, but we're getting there. We're getting a bunch of it cleared out of here. I still got that to do. Just getting the screws out. Had a few minutes in between his work. He's like, "Oh, what do you need me to do?" I'm like, "Get these screws out of the wall." I'm not exactly sure everything's going to...
Our motto for the pantry.
Well, not after today. Pretty soon you'll have to get my little step stool so I can get the stuff up on top, but I'm gonna get this finished, getting the rest of this stuff out of here and get it scrubbed down. And we'll probably have to do a little demo down here like we were talking about once I get that stuff out of there, and we'll catch up with you at that point.
All right, so she's got the display rack that's going to be the food rack that's going to go in here for the canned goods, and we have to remove these two 1x6s or 1x8. This one might be a 1x8. We got to take these out of here anyway because we don't have the depth that we need. We need I think this is 24 inches from here to here, but with the slope on it, her rack is 19 inches, so her candy rack. So we're going to take the sonic cutter. We're going to cut this right here in half, and we're going to pull those two sections out. Unfortunately, this piece of paneling is over the top of that, and the same thing on this side, and then this one is tucked under the brace that holds this shelf up. So I think my best bet is I'm going to cut these with a sonic cutter right in half, my little vibrating oscillating tool, and we're going to rip those out. We'll grab the pry bar and we'll pull, there'll be 4 sections, we'll get that out of there, and then we'll see what's behind here. So,
And then we got a couple shelves that got to come up out
yeah,
the
then
top
we're going
here.
to pull these 2 shelves out for height, of course. So.
And we'll have to measure. We might not need that top one out.
Of course, because that's the loose one. We're having any other way.
But we might. I don't know yet. We got to measure. We just got everything out of here, so now it's just, I was gonna wipe her down, but we got to go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and get that out of there and see what we need to do and get that rack in there. So we'll catch up with you in a minute. So this has turned into a project and a half, but what doesn't for us? We knocked that out. We're short about this much to get that in there. So we're just going to take some wood and we're going to build this up. And we do have plenty of room to do that. And then we can fill that in. After pulling everything out of there, Mike also wants us to get a coat of paint on here. So we're going to go ahead and get a coat of paint on here. He's going to build that up. We're going to get a coat of paint on there. We're going to get that closed up and that'll work. Because like I said, we're just short a little bit. So if we just stabilize, especially being full of cans, and build that up with a little bit of plywood there, that'll be nice and good and it fits. We've measured it 100 times. I hope it still works. He did find a piece of, what was it, metal?
Yep.
Even though that this, once it fits in here, it's going to lean against these or it's going to be backed against this. It's not going to be all the way to the back. So just to be safe, he has got a piece of metal. He's going to go paint real quick and he's going to screw that in the back of this just in case any cans go rolling towards the back. They're not going to fall down where I'd have to move everything out to get that. So we are thinking about that. We did get everything out of here. We're still cleaning. It's going to be a long night. I hope you hang in there, see your project progress, and we're going to get this rolling. I'm going to get this painted. Hopefully we can get this in here tonight and you can see how it works.
Yeah, we had a couple layers of 2x6s onto this 1x that's white right here. That's going to bring us up 3 inches. We might have to come up another 3/4 inch, but that's okay because that'll give us stability. We don't have to worry about any supports in the middle of this right now, being that the bottom of this is finished. So, and like Joe said, that's what, 20, I think if we build that up from this corner here to the rise of this, we'll have 20 some inches clearance and we need 19. So
it'll work.
Joe's pulling the camera back. She doesn't want to see her dirty laundry. All right, I better get busy. I just got plunked in the head.
So Mike's out cutting the wood to put in over on the one side. In the meantime, I did get these 5-gallon buckets. These are food grade with a little twist on lids. We hit a score on wild rice. So I'm just going to go ahead and use one of these for the wild rice bags. This is going to clean up and clear up and free up a lot of space that this was stored in the shelves before. So I'm just going to open these. I am going to take the directions off the back of one of these and keep that. I'll just kind of tape it to the side of the bucket. These are handy because we've got I think these are 1 pound bags and we got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16 of these. So this will clean up a lot of space that we were using the shelf or something like that. I also have a bag of flour that I'm going to do, and I do have a big bag of rice that I'm also going to do in one of these just to start getting that cleaned up while he's working on that. And we'll catch up with you later. So getting ready to paint this. Just going to put a little light coat on it, but most of it will be covered up. He's cutting the wood. We know we got this figured out. We got some paint here. Stopped at a unclaimed freight store somewhere, and I'm not wasteful, but we got this tin foil. And I tell you, you breathe and it rips. So I figured, waste not, want not. We're not really going to use it for anything because it's too thin. So I thought I'd line my little pan here. You might be like, well, that's not, it's going to work good enough for what I need to do because we're going to have that whole can rack shelf in here anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and get started painting, and I'll catch up with you after that. So I finished painting. I just did a really quick coat. Most of this is going to be covered up back here, so it's not a big deal. Just I wiped it all down, just gave it a clean little quick coat. We're going to let that dry. He's been cutting the wood, and we're going to get that in there. Get that boxed up there, and hopefully get this can rack thing that I want in here tonight, maybe along with my spice rack. We'll see how far we get. We'll see how tired. I know if you've been following along with any of this, sometimes it runs pretty late in the night, and I get little wee bit tired, but I'm going to go as long as I can and just stay tuned.
Well, you win some and you lose some. The best part about this is we got our backer board on the candy rack that Joe cleaned up and everything. I had a piece of sheet metal out in the garage off the back of one of my 36-inch cabinets in my garage that we used. So that worked really good there. I wire brushed it, primed it, we painted it. So that matched up really nice.
And I did point out that you want to do another coat. But I'm like, there's going to be cans there. I don't care. Let's get her in there.
Yeah. So we go to put it in there. And of course, you know, we got to tuck and bend. And it's aluminum. So it's not going to tuck and bend that easy. So what we ended up doing is we pulled her trim boards off right here. And this is cedar, of course. What worked out really nice is it's just a rustic pantry. I had some old...
Built it up.
Yeah, we had, we got 2 layers of 2x4s there. And then the top layer is 1-inch cedar. I just had some extra pieces of cedar laying around.
And we'll faceplate that sometime.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to faceplate that when we're done here. But anyway, we got that tucked in there. Joe got the pantry, nice coat of paint put in there. Nice clean. We got a fresh start. We got to get some of the stuff back in here tonight. We've been at this quite a while.
About 8 hours.
Joe's getting ahead of us over here.
I know.
She's
I just start
organized.
putting stuff there.
We got hammers.
Yeah. Trim, we're keeping track of stuff, but I was just trying to get stuff grouped back together, and
so we're getting there. So anyway, that's just a...
I'm so going to get that spice rack in here tonight.
Yeah, that's the next little project. We're gonna pop this trim back on here.
I think it's about what? 7 o'clock?
Yeah, 7 p.m. So it's crazy. It's the end of September. Hunting season's getting into full swing here, and it's 80 degrees outside right now.
Right.
So why not?
But yeah, we've done a little bit of fishing. They're pretty tiny, so I'm like, we've been talking about this pantry since spring, and we need something functional. As you saw the beginning pictures, it was not functional. So
no, we're making it functional. We're gonna get there. I mean,
so
we got a couple hours ahead of us, I think, and
we're going to put this trim up, and then I'm going to start trying to get my little shelves in there, and maybe I should try to get some shelves in there first.
Joe said this has got to go.
You know what? These aren't bad if they work, but every time I've hung something in there, they fall down. Pull that off.
Yep, that'll go next. But anyhow, that's where we're at on this. Little update in a little while. We're going to do a before and after, I think, on this. We're going to do some cutting and editing. We usually don't do that in our videos, but I think this one we're going to have
I don't think you wanted to watch it for 12 hours.
Yeah. Shift and anonymous. So anyways, that's where we're at.
We're going to get shelves trimmed. We'll catch up with you once we got that going. Well, we had an unexpected guest show up, so Mike's out there talking to him. We still got to get the rest of the trim on here, but we got her in there. We got her put together. So I'm going to go ahead and wash up and place some cans on there while he's visiting. And then right in here, he's going to hook me up that spice rack here. Let's see, I think we've been working on this now about 9 hours. So it's going to be a long night, but I'm not saying everything's going to stay how it is. I do have stuff to work with, but just we had a pile on the couch, on the counters, everywhere else, but we're getting there. And I did a little bit of play with this, and once I get it stacked up and I get Mike in here, I'll show you how good that play is, and I'll catch up with you then. So we finally got it in here. It's been a long day. I think we've been at it, what, 10 hours? Like I said in a previous one, when I was kind of pointing it out, he had a friend stop by, so I was just kind of working on some of my stuff and getting this stocked up. But I think this will work, you know. And then I can stock that. And then you might be thinking like these weird things, but holy crap, that works too. So I am definitely happy with this. I can definitely keep way better track of all of what we got. I thought this would have been filled, and it's not filled. We might have a couple things hiding out there. Then we have down here that I'm able to store. This is cedar. It'll keep the bugs, the mice away. So I got some basmati rice, some jasmine rice. I just got some clips for any bags we got to keep open. My mom, thank goodness for my mom and my dad, did these elderberries, dried them this year, and these nettles this year. That's going to be huge. So I know I probably will find a few more things for here, but right here will tell me, we go somewhere and Mike will be like, do we need cream of mushroom? No. Do we need cream of chicken? No. Which, on the other hand, I'm going to start canning stuff for cream of mushroom and cream of chicken soup in the near future. The big thing now, we're going to get my spice rack on here. That's going to be huge.
Break out the level, Joe. We're going to get
I'm doing a little rearranging here. It might not stay that way. I'm just trying to get stuff off the counters, off the couch. I mean, there's a lot. I got this one here. This is one of my 5-gallon pails. This is my flour. I got one about half full of wild rice and about one half full sticky rice. Sticky rice would be if you're gonna do any Chinese food with the sauces and you get that rice in that little box and so that's what that is.
Basically, she's using that right now for a kind of a spacer for our
Spice rack.
Our drop down for the spice rack.
So I can store this across the side.
We know this is my cotton swab right here. You knew that was her height factor. Where is it? Right there.
You just poked it in and I gotta
the mice will get that next week. But no,
anyway,
actually, that's the height. We're going to come down with the spice rack right here. And we're going to run it right up there.
That way I can run my barrels across there and we still have room for our filtered water jugs we use and all that. So it's all gonna be good. It is getting late, but I am so stinking excited.
Joe's proud
You do not know how long.
Joe is proud of the nook.
I am.
This is the nook, and it's really cool how together we planned. We took the tape measure, we planned things out, and we found a rack that's going to work for this for a low cost.
Just sit low cost. I'm sitting in the basement.
That's awesome, though. Hey,
Look,
low cost.
I have no issues with someone going.
Look at that piece of sheet metal back there. If you'd had somebody make that custom for you, it'd have been $75. She's tickled.
I might have to have labels or someday, but right now I'm just excited to have it up there. And no issues against people like I'm reorganizing, going to the dollar store and getting bins. This was more than a bin project.
Okay, let's bust out that spice rack.
Yes, and we'll catch up with you then. It's the next day. Last night we did. I think I just crashed into bed by the time we were done. So we did get the spice rack up yesterday, so I've been playing around with it a little bit today. I know I'll have to do a little bit of rearranging and stuff yet. But the nice thing about this, though, is these are adjustable. So some of these bigger ones down here, I can go ahead and just... There's adjustable if I get it lined up there. So you can adjust the different heights, so you can have some of the bigger stuff down there if I end up doing oil bottles or anything like that. So then down here,
Hey, Joe, got the rack a little crooked. Yep, a couple pegs too high.
leaving it there.
She's looking at me like a deer in the headlights. I'm like, put it down one notch. Perfect. There you go.
I'm not gonna leave this one here. I was just kind of showing.
I know.
I do have tons more spices and seasonings I still got to get organized here. I'm trying to go alphabetical so it's easier to find.
You had a plan, just like, see these rolling racks? I think she wanted a rolling spice rack over there, so she put that side up 3 inches.
Okay. Anyway, we were rested. I've been working on this a little bit today. Got the floor all cleaned out. I brought my pails in, and this is, why we were kind of adjusting when we were going to do that. I wanted to be able to store my pails in here. Not like any of this stuff's going to stay exactly where it's at. I've been bringing other stuff in here, seeing what works. Got down there something for the onions down there, and I have another one that I'm getting all washed up. I've been put on top for potatoes or vice versa. Potatoes on the bottom, onions on top. But everything this is starting to work. I just got to continue to dig through stuff, hoping that by the time I get all my seasonings and spices on there, that I do have some for my tea. I do like tea. It's coming along.
It looks really nice. Hey, I got a question. Can I get a referral for the guy that did the flooring in here?
You did the flooring in here.
What was that?
You did the flooring in here. It is beautiful. And it did clean up really well. I gave it a good couple scrubs in there and stuff.
Yeah, you
like
did.
that,
You scrubbed a lot of that. It come out really nice. There was a lot of deep cleaning that was done by Joe. Nice job.
Yeah, so
looks great.
This is still up here. This has got to come out.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't got that
didn't
far.
quite get to
He didn't.
that.
Yeah, he hasn't quite got the trim back put in or whatever, but it'll be okay. Just as the air gun or whatever, so it shouldn't be too messy or anything like that.
Yeah, there's the pneumatic
It just
air
it got.
stapler and we'll knock
This
it out.
was definitely a little bit harder to get up than we thought. Leveling it all out, making sure it hung up, and by the time that was done, I was too tired to even do enough to eat. I usually go to bed pretty early, so you start getting at 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. I was done. I had to eat something and go to bed.
Yeah, when you order stuff like this off of the internet, you know, these racks and iron products and whatever, you know, all I can put my 2 cents in is bring your own screws, because
Yeah, we did.
that is some really weak iron that they give you, even if you
We have a
pre-drill.
couple of them.
They just they were breaking off, and
So we
and
used
the
our
heads of
own.
the screws are getting stripped, so we opted just to run some sheetrock screws in there, which worked a lot better
Yeah,
for us.
it is nice and sturdy. I mean, that's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's anchored to the wall. Great. I mean, like I said before, we got 1/2-inch plywood paneling back there, and then that's 1/2 or 5/8 inch
And it should be
barnwood
pretty
over the top. So
pretty easy to clean. You know, the bottoms are open, so it should be pretty easy to clean. And
Yep.
same with this too. I mean, these should be pretty easy to clean, keep clean. And then if I ever just got to get down here and just you do a little vacuum, just move off the little bit of stuff I've got down there. So I'm gonna continue on here, go through the rest of my stuff, our stuff. Sorry, get the seasonings up here. We'll get this wrapped up and we'll show you the end result. Stay tuned.
yep, organization is Joe's specialty. I'm the drip tear guy.
Well, I think we're at a good stopping point here to show you. We got the curtains back up again. And this is kind of the finished project. Over here we got some of my baking stuff. We're filtering water right now, so a little bit of the water jugs will go down there. Trying to organize here, put some stuff up there I don't get to. Got my spice rack alphabetized, other than we had some bigger items that were just down here, so we wouldn't lose all that space, and just a couple weird items here. But all the major stuff, you're doing a recipe and you do parsley, there it is. However, because I used some of these at different levels, had 2 extra racks, so I just had Mike screw them on there just for some lighter weight stuff. So that'll work out. I mean, that helped clear that up too. We've got a little bit going on over there. He's still got to get a little bit of the trim up. Got the other bin that'll sit on top of that wash, but it's just drying right now. Got this hung back up, so I'm just kind of putting some little last minute things away in there. All that's left is a little bit of trim and the little plate there. He's going to take this down. I think we'll put a hook there just for some paper bags.
Hook? That's going to be a little cupboard for my moonshine.
Whatever.
Whatever.
But I do have just a little bit more to go through, but since I was able to move some stuff out of other cupboards and other areas to get in here, that's cleared those up, so I'm just trying to organize. I'm not sure if I want to put like my vanilla and stuff in here, or if I'm going to put it in a little cupboard over by the stove. But we're getting it all figured out, and some of this eventually is just going to go away. We're not going to be buying it anymore because I can make my own now that I'm at home more.
Look at that. Way back under the cabinet. Look at the flooring. Who did this for you again, Joe?
You did.
What's the referral?
You. Eventually, I would like to get, I got one more of these, and I'm not sure if I want to do like jasmine rice maybe, or popcorn or whatever, but we talked about maybe we'll get another one when we got some money, get some more of those.
Some more of those
work,
buckets, yeah.
Yeah, they work really nice, and if you buy in bulk, maybe for sugar or stuff like that. But other than that, it really did. It's nice and sturdy. It worked out good. This was a lot of work. Like I said, just a couple little things here and there.
I got my way too.
Yeah,
I got to put my sign back up.
Put that back up.
Look, it looks like a... Oh, no, that's just worn. So you got some cleaning to do. A bird pooped on that. Oh,
You're
you've been cleaning for 2 days in here.
Dirt. But yeah.
Awesome, Joel. Good job.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, I'll have a little bit more room. Like I said, I have just a couple things to go through. I mean, even doing stuff like this with something we just got a jar or two with, definitely cleans that up. This is just kind of overspill. Got a flaw in here. Overspill. Got a lot of chives and stuff. I could only fit 2 up there at a time, but then I know that's there. We don't have to buy more of that. I have found out there are a couple things we do need, but
No, we'll have to see how these cans roll down so that they all stay straight in their little columns. We'll see how that works for us.
cans and just put them up there. And I'm gonna try to leave some. I wasn't sure how much stuff I'd have up here, but I'm gonna try to leave like either a little bit in the middle or towards the ends here, just for shuffling and cleaning and stuff. But it's definitely a lot easier because you start stacking this on these shelves back there, and you just, especially this one is so deep, you couldn't see what was in the back. It just became a dumping zone. We were able to, we kind of went through one of the cupboards out there, one of the bigger cupboards, and move some stuff that we don't ever really use, put that downstairs so that we could put like, you know, my griddle and my food processor, stuff like that in there. But I got about a little tote of stuff to go through deciding if we want to put it in some cupboards out there, if we want to put it in here. I do have a little bit of room left, but I do have a ton of apples waiting for me, and some walnuts that I gotta get to too, that we picked down at my mom and dad's. So that's going to be my next project here, and I'll just kind of dig through that little tote and stuff when I have a minute here or there, and I'm sure some stuff will move around, but this is definitely going to help out a lot more than where it was at. We're going to keep it this way.
Awesome. So yeah, please like, share, subscribe for more future content like this.
Yes.
We got a homestead that needs a lot of renovation, so
Yes.
we're going to be busy monkeys.
And TLC.
Yeah, and TLC. Lots of cleaning. Oh, by the way, Joe's advertising for herself. She's running a new painting business called Half Finished Painting. But, you know,
Because I got it up on the
she
side.
does make a good Swedish meatball, so we'll leave the finish out of it. She makes Swedish meatballs.
It looks nice.
Okay.